We're right back here on the Charles River and the Ivy League Digital Network, getting back on schedule. There was a very tight turnaround between the women's second varsity races and the men's 3V. So here come Brown and Harvard already inside the final 1,000 meters at third varsity for the Crimson and the Brown Bears.
Looks like Harvard is bringing it to them again, at least open water.
Harvard won the 1V to win the Stein Cup. Brown pulled off the upset by 1 seat at the 2V, but Harvard here in front at 3V in a boat that's coxswained by Madeline Zabriskie and stroked by a junior, Dom Glover. It's a very experienced boat. All juniors and seniors except for one sophomore, David Fleming. No freshman on the 3V boat for Harvard this year.
Yeah, it can happen like that when you might have a couple angsty juniors and seniors, but you also typically have a really fast crew. And as you can see here, we've got, I don't know, 2-3 lengths of open. They've just ripped it early and have pummeled Brown.
Yeah, massive open water for Harvard. Very impressive at third varsity. This is a nice bounce back to get some momentum back in the boathouse after the JV upset.
Yeah, they are cruising. And then the other thing you're going to see is guys looking to get a shot at that JV and given the JV performance. You might see some changes. It's early in the season.
Mentioned Dom Glover, the rest of that group: Phil Bates, Henry Kennelly, Yuri Udom, David Fleming, Andre Dempsey, Ryan Rasmussen, and Ben Strathmore, and they have put out a really strong first 1,700 meters. They are in a different area code than Brown right now.
Yeah, different speeds, completely different speeds. And the Brown guys, they're still fighting. They look kind of cold.
Got a couple beanie hats out there for Brown. It's a chilly day today. Temperature right around 40 degrees, and the wind is just nasty.
Yeah, this is going to be a 10-plus second margin here for Harvard. It's a big win, and given the JV result, I think both crews are going to look at some stuff. You never know, but this is a huge win. Huge win. On pace with some of the margins we've seen in the Princeton women's victory.
Yep. And we obviously caught up to the race at the midway point, but at the midway point it was not this big of a margin. It looked like Harvard turned on the jets in that third 500.
Yeah, and Harvard is looking to end this race pretty aggressively. It looks like they've gone up. They're rowing really clean given the headwind. It's very nice. Yeah, really clean. Coming to the finish pretty soon.
Yeah, waiting for the flag to drop as Harvard dominates the third varsity. So the Crimson won 1V, Brown won 2V. Harvard goes ahead and dominates the 3V with the biggest margin of victory we have seen so far today. Down goes the flag, and down goes Brown with Harvard winning third varsity.
We call that a horizon job.
Yeah, a lot of strokes still to come for the Bears here as they try to bring Harvard into their sight line a bit.
Brown's still rowing tough, though.
Here come the Bears down the stretch on a windy day on the Charles River, and the flag comes up, so Brown's home, and that was about a 10-second margin. Yeah. So Harvard wins at third varsity. When we come back, we'll have the women's varsity 4A. So a big varsity 4 matchup between Radcliffe, Princeton, and Cornell next on the Ivy League Digital Network.